anytime you open your mouth to speak, and there is somebody who is listening, there's a form of what public speaking happening. So public speaking starts from our homes. Once we speak to our children, we speak to our wives, we speak to our family members, we speak during our church services, we are reading the Bible. It's all forms of what? Public speaking. And the same principles that you would attach to speaking to 1,000 people in an academic conference or work conference, you should also apply the same principles to in your speaking at home. Then my first question I'll ask you is that why is that, especially being Ghanaians, we are very, very connected, and then we are very, very knitted together as a society, close together, and then we believe so much in the extended system, extended family system, where your uncles, you can do something, your uncle come and shut you down, maybe your mother will beat you to listen to your uncle. So, but most of it, I must realize that one of you, anytime he stands up or he calls a family meeting, everybody comes. But there could be another person who might even be older. He calls a family meeting too. Or if a Bible has a cat, they don't want to come. Why do you think accounts for such two sharp contracting scenarios? Why do you think that somebody in your family, even among your siblings, there's one of them that anytime he calls you, you're happy. Everybody wants to complain that, oh, brother, man, say, or your family is only a casa. There's another black family or sister, and if that sister after comes, everybody wants to drive a car away. Why do you think should be the likely thing that accounts for such differences? Yes.
In the respect that you command.
In the respect that you command. Okay.
I think how he or she may have carried himself.
How he or she may have carried herself. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yes, any other?
Reputation built over time.
The reputation built over time. I love that. Any other? Avoisika, power. These are all brand attributes. These are all brand attributes. And brand attributes come together about the things that we do and the things that we also don't do. The things that we plan to do and the things that we don't plan to do. Somebody is watching, somebody is listening. So all of them come together. All the imagery, all the stories we are living and the impressions we are living in the hearts and minds of people are forming parts of what? Our reputation, and our reputation becomes what? Our brand. So the earlier we pay attention to every little thing that we do as individuals, starting from the home. There are some people who have two inconsistent characters. And I hear this. I talked to in a seminar, a different seminar, somebody was telling me, for me, I am Kodefosu in the house. The Kodefosu in the house is different from the Kodefosu in the office. The Kodefosu in the office is different from the Kodefosu in the church. And I asked them, then who are you? He said, I don't know. For me, I look at it. If I'm in the house, yes. But if I am in the office, I have another different story. And if I'm also at the workplace, I also have a different persona. That would amount to what I call, as communicators, as public speakers, as creatives. This is one thing that we want to avoid, because you don't want to come with different meanings about our brand to different people. We want to work towards achieving a consistent level of imagery, a consistent level of what? Form of reputation to a particular audience over a period of time. Then we can build a brand for them. So anytime your name is mentioned, it evokes a certain feelings. Anytime your name is mentioned, it should evoke a certain kind of imagery. It should evoke a certain kind of laugh. That this conference I wouldn't go, but because Susan is speaking, I want to go. Because KOD is coming, I want to go and pay. And I remember KKD had all of us. Those of us who practiced GID in the late 80s, 90s, 2000s, one form or the other, we loved KOD. And some people will go and watch Miss Ghana at the time. Not because they want to go and watch the lady show, but because they want to listen to KK's voice, and it's English. So the next time you put your TV and he's not the one emceeing it, oh, okay, I'll watch one next week when he comes. Why? He has built a certain reputation over a period of time. He has been consistent over a period. And everybody liked him. So today, I came to challenge you. Most of the things, I think those who were in Professor Henson's class last week, I know you might have mentioned majority of the things I'm going to say to you, but I came to reinforce, and I also came to challenge you that let your personal brand be very, very, very dear to you. You've heard of Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe said that he will not kill for anything, but there's one thing that he will kill for. It's about what? His name, his reputation. And those of us in this field, comms, creatives, marketing, we don't have anything. People buy from people they love and they trust. So your duty is to be consciously working towards creating that brand love about you and your products and your offerings. And it don't just come by chance. It doesn't come by osmosis. It comes by what? Intentionality. It comes by putting in the work. It comes by being consistent about what you do. And it also comes about fulfilling your promise over time. So what do I define the concept of branding? How do I say? In my view, branding is not about, go to this side. So I put here my flyer, 1 p.m. flyer, and I say that for me, branding, sorry, the front side is so small, so probably I'll just read it to you. Branding is not just about your logos and your colors. That's what people think. So you have the logos, you have your colors, and when I talk about personal branding, Nancy and then Kilby have done a lot of work about how to dress for that presentation or for that occasion. But I also came here to announce to you that beyond the dress, beyond the nice shoe, beyond the nice car, what is in the heart, what is in the mouth. So branding is not only about logos or about what you wear, but branding is about being consistent in fulfilling your promise to your audience or to your customers over a period of time. Did you get that? It's about being consistent, not just being consistent, but being consistent in fulfilling the promises that you have made to your audience, to your customers over a period of time. So you tell them at your office, when can you deliver this report? Oh, next week. Next week you come, oh, my uncle was sick, so I could not. Then what time can you finish? Oh, next 2 weeks. Oh, next 2 weeks, I developed a flu. Every day we are shifting the goalposts. So what kind of brand are you building? What kind of reputation are you building? So the next time there is a galamsey, or the next time there is an offer for you, that somebody says, let's just give it to Cecil. Oh, Cecil, we don't need Cecil. He will keep on postponing, the work will not be done. But Akosia Mansa, you give it to the person, and Akosia Mansa tells you that, oh, let's look at 9th July. By 7th July, he has done it, and it's given it to you. You give another work to her. She tells, oh, let's look at 30th July. By 27th, he has done it, and he has brought it. What kind of image, or what kind of story is the person painting in your mind? Somebody's word. Reliability. One of the serious brand attributes is what? Reliability. Being reliable as a person. So I'll show you the personal branding framework. And then after this presentation, go and ask yourself, how do I position myself as a brand? So let me tell you my story. So in 1994, and I've said this story over and over, and it's coming in my book as well. So in 1994, I lost my mother. And we were 9. My mother had given us to 9 children. My father was a bad man. Every Sunday he was busy. And especially Sunday afternoons, he was very busy. I don't know why he chose Sunday afternoon. So we were 9. And my mother was a breadwinner. He was into fashion, like 1957, he was sewing. So those of you who have been in Kumasi, if you know Anglican Secondary School, Yasantua, Ukes, he was the one sewing their school uniforms for them. So she was wealthy, and my childhood wasn't bad. Okay, I was that, but I'm saying jogging. You know jogging? Yes. I just gone jogging for school. So it was It was nice. But she died and the whole story changed. And I had to go back into poverty. So I came, when I was coming to GIJ here, that today I'm standing here talking to you, I never thought I would be able to come because there was nobody was going to sponsor me to come to the GIJ. So I bought a form without knowing where help would come from. But in also building your brand story, and I keep on saying this, please believe in a faith. If I am a Christian, so I believe in my Christian faith. So in times of trouble, I go back to that faith. I go back to that God that I know and I pray. And that's miracles. And if you are a traditionalist, you go there. If you are a Muslim, you go there. But I am a Christian, so today I came to talk about a Christian faith. The importance of also attaching a faith to your personal brand. And acknowledging and submitting to that faith when that impossible time comes, when that hardship time comes. So I have done that, and I have just talked to my God. How can I do it? Because I had a brand purpose. And those of you who have read my books that I did in 1999, 1998, I have written something that I wanted to be a brand, I wanted to be a PRO for Christ. That is my brand purpose. I wanted to tell stories about God. I wanted to tell stories about how merciful He is. I wanted to tell people about how gracious He has been to me. And I said that it's just like change. I was talking to you about change management the other time. It's just about change. It must affect you. It must impact you for you to be able to also spread the news to other people. So I said, I've been praying this prayer for a very long time. And anytime I say that, God, I don't want you to give the miracle to KOD or give the miracle to Adam. I want you to make me the miracle so that I can talk about what your goodness, because I have what experiencing. So that being my brand purpose. So in 1998, I've written my Facebook, Dear Mama, why so soon? Very young boy, a boy, slave boy. But I was well kept. I love that. So those of you who were here in GIJ in 1989 to 2000, they will tell you the SRC president who was always wearing shirt and tie. Every time I come to campus, I have shirt and tie. It was only one, white and blue. Sorry, two. I have white shirt, blue shirt. I have brown trousers and black. That's the only costume that I had at the time I could afford. But I made sure it was iron because I had a brand purpose. And the brand purpose I wanted to do wasn't that kind of. I'm not saying that being fun is not good. But where I was coming from, there was no time for us to have fun, to go to club. No, even I wanted to, I could not afford it. So my brand purpose at the time, at the very early stage of my life, was to come out to be like, to position myself as a more focused, conscious, Christ-oriented, motivator, encourager. That was my story. That was what I wanted to say. That was the community of friends I wanted to build around my brand. And you must be deliberate in building things that will resonate with your brand word, purpose. Not say you want to be an MC. For example, you want to be an MC, a DJ, and a DJ you are always seen in a certain kind of activities. Because if you want to be an MC, there are certain level of associations, certain level of occasion that people must see you there. If you want to be a pastor, for example, and want to be a renowned one, there are certain level of associations, or there are certain level of environment, there are certain level of expectation that people that you want to influence should see you or should believe you in. So you must make sure how you connect and then how you form what associations. Once you have a clearly defined brand board purpose. So I'm saying that branding is not only about logos, it's not about card assignment. You say, okay, he said, yes sir, you submit the assignment next week. Next week you come and then, please, course rep, can't you talk to Dr. Bosman for us that this week they were too busy with time, we can't. Then he extended for another 1 week. Let's extend it again. And then, what impression are you building? What imagery? What story are you building in his mind? Students who are not world. Serious. Next time you appear before a panel for a job and you find Dr. Bosman as one of the panel members who are supposed to hand over the job to you, the one you see is tell man, what assignment are we there? How do we entrust this role to such a person? When I was teaching her or when I was teaching him, it wasn't being consistent in fulfilling those promises that we made. You see how perceptions are formed. And the perception is reality, perceptions are everything. So as a communicator, as a public speaker, your work is to be intentional in controlling what the narratives around your brand. Branding is not defined, or brand equity is not defined by you, but it is defined by what? People who experience you. I cannot say I am a good brand person or a communicator. I'm the best communication scholar in Ghana. No, I cannot say that. You have to say it, but I cannot say. Even anytime I talk about brands and comms, I reference Jesus Christ, who is the source of my faith. Even him, he started branding, but it was an old age concept. Now, people in academia want to say that they started somewhere in 19 whatever, and it's a pen, and then some people wanted to identify certain cows, and then you know that's the story. I hope Professor History shared with you. But for me, my branding story or philosophy comes back to the days of Jesus Christ. When he, as a son of God, he even sat down there and was asking the disciples, who do you think what I am? That's the first serious brand question that you should ask yourself. It's not about who you think you are, it's about who people will think what you are. Your friends, your family, your co-workers, who do they see you? So you don't go about and tell, for me I am good, or for me I am kind, or for me I am excellent, for me I am beautiful. It's not about you. You don't measure your brand value. It is the people, your audience, your stakeholders, your neighbors, who have the right to measure what your value. What can you do as a person to make sure that you always stay positive on the front pages of the mind of your audience, or your consumers, or your stakeholders, or your neighbors? What do you have to do? You cannot change their perception, but what can you do? You can influence their perception towards you. Did you hear that? You cannot change their perception, but what can you do? You can influence their perception towards you. With what? With your attributes. And then by what? Fulfilling the promises that you have made with them. Those of you who have children here, who have parents here, if you have 2 children, or 3 or 4, one person would break your plates, and you feel like squashing his head off. Another child will break a plate and you give the child a hand. Why? Why? They all stayed in your womb. Let me ask the mothers here. They all stayed in your womb for 9 months, and I know it's not an easy journey. 9 months is not easy. But one person will break your plate, and you feel like squashing and then taking his head off. Another person will break your plate and say, Joe, I am a yes, sir. One. Yes.
One is naturally like that. He's stubborn.
One is naturally like that. He's stubborn. Do you think that people were born stubborn? You don't have stubborn. I also agree like that. I also agree to that. Yes. It goes back to what? Reputation. Yes, you are a mother. Let us hear you. Yes. Characteristics. Yeah.
So there'll be a time I'll see something and I'll be like, this is for her.
Yes.
This is for her.
Yes.
Actually, it's fun that you do it.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing to her.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing to her.
Yeah.
That's just normal for parents to do that.
Yeah.
Reputation.
Definitely. Because probably one of them has been fulfilling all the little promises the two of you have had. The other person, naturally, who have not been fulfilling the promises, tends to be, you create a perception that it's a stubborn child. Nobody was once stubborn. But it's because of the attributes, it's because of a certain pattern of behavior. It's also because of a pattern, consistent level of certain promises that he or she has not been able to fulfill. That is why for him, we want to give a span, or we want to give a prank. But the other one, you just want to say, okay, you next time. It happens to all of us, even at your office. Somebody will come late, and you say, you think that the one is for your grandmother, but another person will come late, and oh, I have grandmother. Because when you come late, I can't scorn you. Sorry. First, we are going to look at brand, what I call brand drivers. What are some of the drivers that you need to build in order to help you achieve that unique persona? Being able to help you achieve that brand equity that you are looking for. Anyways, let me also explain myself what I mean by brand equity. Brand equity is the power that one brand has over the other. the power or the influence that one brand will have over the other. So we are all brands. Everybody sitting here is a brand. So as we are all aiming to become renowned public speakers and then be invited for speak engagements all over the globe. And why would you want to, somebody invite Cecil, that Cecil, we have booked you to come and talk about integrated marketing communication. How will you go, how much will you charge us? Then tell them it will take $1,500. Oh no, we can't afford $1,500, we give you $700 or $600. But then go and move to NNM. Are you NNM? Yes. Aram, sorry. But they moved to Aram, and Aram said, oh, I'll take $2,000. Only $2,000. Okay, because we will need you for a whole day, so we will even add $500 to it, we'll give you $2,500. The difference is that Aram has been able to build a brand in the eyes, or position herself in the minds and the eyes of those organizers, so much that they value her work, or her works, or her contribution. But yours, you have been very inconsistent, and you have not been able to deliver and then wow them for a consistent period of time. So people don't really trust you. That's the reason why you go to a bookshop and somebody wants to buy a Chino Achebe for $150 and you buy Ike Tandoh for $20. But probably my book might even be much more, the content might be much more, but because Chino Achebe has been there, created the relevance and been consistent for all these years, and he has not been disappointing his readers. Anytime you buy a Chino Achebe book, you get value for your money. So people want to pay more for that. But you, with no reputation, no brand, you say $20 and people are still struggling to accept to buy. So you understand what an equity is. So your duty, your goal as a communicator is to work towards achieving what an equity that people will love. And once you are able to also build a strong equity for your brand, it makes switching costs very difficult. Hello? Do you understand that? Once you are able to build an equity for your brand, it makes switching costs very difficult. People are even afraid to leave your community or your association or your network. When you tell them I've cut ties with them, they are dying. They are bringing chiefs to come and beg you because of the influence. But there are some people who tell them not to come to you again. Hey, Jesus Christ, way she made you so very. They are even happy that they even wanted to tell that they wanted to leave. So you yourself telling them that you are giving them what? Glory. Don't be like that. Be a brand that sticks. Be a brand that people will pray. People would want to do anything to be part of what your association, because of certain attributes, or because of certain what drivers, or because of certain behavior that we have consistently displayed over time. So what makes you stand out? We are doing it together. So what makes you stand out? Sitting in this class, we are looking at brand drivers. So what makes you stand out as a brand, as a personal brand? What makes you stand out? What are some of your attributes? Yes, also.
Your philosophy of life.
What makes you stand out? What do you think in your own judgment? What makes you stand out from any other person in this class? What are your attributes? What makes you stand out?
Serve.
Come again?
Serve.
Service makes you stand out. Good. Yes. Service. Okay. Cecil, what makes you stand out? From your other colleagues or from the other competitors, you are a consultant, so what makes you stand out?
I believe it is the digital edge I bring to the table.
The digital edge. So it's a skill. He has a certain skill that the other people in his field doesn't have. So it's a skill. That makes you stand out. That is good. Yes, any other person want to share? What makes you stand out? Yes.
It's my assertiveness.
Your assertiveness and your confidence. Assertiveness, confidence, it makes everyone stand out. So when we are looking for somebody who will be there, who will be present for a task, then we come for you. That is your brand attribute. Yes. Who again? The lady in white and black, I don't know your name.
Lambi.
Come again.
Lambi.
When I said the lady, the way, the expression in your face, is telling me she doesn't even want to be here. Lovely, what makes you stand out?
My hair.
Your hair. What about your hair? You are a Rasta. So the Rasta makes you stand out. All right, thank you. Please. So I define what brand as a concept is. Continuously fulfilling your promises so that you build good imagery, you build a good picture, you build a good impression on the front pages of the minds of your consumers or audience and it might be done constantly over a period of time. That's branding as a concept. But what is personal branding? So personal branding revolves around what other people say about you. Personal branding revolves around what you also say about yourself. And I say that in the branding measurement, personal branding measurement, it is not what you think you are, but it's about what people also think about you. But there's also a critical role that you can play as a personal brand. It's about what you also tell people about yourself. For the past year or so that you guys have come to know me, I know there are certain things, when you finish and you go, and they mention Ike Tandoh, you can remember a certain particular story I've been saying over time to you. And it's about how I want to position myself in your minds. How I want to position. So that when you are there in your office and there's like that I'm saying, oh, the first day will come, Ike Tandoh, you call me. So it's also about how you intentionally tell your story. And I've been saying this to you that if you do not tell your story, others will tell it for you. And when you allow them to tell it for you, they will tell it in the way they want, they like and they want. So be in charge of your story. Control the narratives around what? Your persona. Be consistent in telling the story. But what I would say is that be truthful. Be truthful in telling your story. Because as public speakers, our currency is what? Credibility. Once you lose your credibility, nobody wants to listen to you again. As a PR person. Very important. Okay. Let's see I put some tips here that I want to leave with you before I close the class. And the first thing I want to share with you in your quest to build your personal brand is that you must work in the offline world as well. Now, since we talk about digital age, and that's true, everybody is going digital now. Maintaining your presence digitally is so important in this age and time. But don't also forget that people live two lives. Their lives on social media and digital world is different from their life offline. And I'm talking about the fact that if you want to build a personal brand that lasts, you must be consistent. And you must be seen as the same to your consumers over a period of time. So your offline activity shouldn't be different from what your online world activities. And your offline activities people can be a bit deceitful with their digital storytelling. Because the distance is a bit very different. But when people are experiencing you day in and day out, you are in a small group, you have been given an assignment to go and you alone who are your problems. And this my group member has done that. And every time you alone, you have problem with everybody in your group. There are some people, somebody is telling me, you have been given a group assignment to do. You alone, every day your network is not good. Every day. Group class discussion, my network is not good. Work in the offline. Personal branding isn't bound to be to internet. When you leave your home and interact with people around town, maintain a positive and professional appearance in keeping with the brand. Maintain. KOD and Nancy talked so much about your appearance, so I will just leave it at that. But what I want to say is that don't let. Okay, this is what Jesus did. This one. I'm feeling very sick. So make sure that your daily interactions with people, face-to-face interaction with people, the story that you are sharing and the impression that you are leaving will be the same as the story that you are telling online. Don't go to online, and then somebody was telling me that for me, I will not fall in love with anybody on social media. And I said, why? He said, Tandoh, have you seen anybody dressed shabbily and just taking a picture and put it online? All of us, we put pictures that are nice online, two of us. The day that you have your best shirt or you have your best picture for, so you put like bad pictures of you online. Really? Once in a while. What do you want to achieve with that?
People can know that it's not always rosy, that there will be some stuff once in a while.
That is good. He said sometimes you also put in some not too good pictures of her to let people know that after all he's human and she's not artificial. So there's also sometimes that you want to do your gari, and sometimes there are some people that they only put on pictures when they are in flights. And I sometimes ask myself why. So let your online and your offline activities be the same. The second tip I want to share with you is that consistency is the key. Be consistent. Don't be. Please come, sir. One key component or driver of personal branding is about being consistent with your audience, being consistent with your consumers, being consistent with your association. You can't be different persons to different people all the time. Today you are happy, tomorrow you are sad. Today you are abusive, tomorrow you are not abusive. And people say for me, I have what? Mood swings, and I have temperaments, and I have whatever. That is why you are in control of your brand. That is why you are in control of your brand. You can't be a professional public speaker or a professional communicator, and you are in a conference and you say that today I am in my mood swing, so you start using abusive language. If anybody asks you a question, then you insult. And when you finish, they meet you outside. Dr. Tandoh, why are you like, oh, today I was in my bad mood? That is so bad. If you're in your bad mood, stay at your home. Don't accept that appointment once you think you are not in a good mood. You call somebody on the line and, hello? Very, very, very unethical. Communicating students, masters. They will respond. First question is so unethical. They are all forming part of your personal brand. One day. So they will say this thing to you when you call them, but when you meet them in person, they want to show you that they are all nice. Be consistent with the brand. And I also tell you, yes, okay, yes.
I very much agree with you, but with a phone call, sometimes, let's say, will call me, she will call me.
Yes.
We've not spoken before, maybe you're using a different number. I know Dr. Tandoh. I have your number, so when you call, I'll know that this is Dr. Tandoh. There's a case you call, hello. So when you call, I said, you know who is speaking. It is, I think it's very, very annoying. Just, you know who is talking.
So you must also get another reply. Emotional intelligence. I know. I want to be real with you. I'm human. I know. Sometimes I get that myself. Yesterday, somebody sent me a text message saying, a student, he said, he will send a text message, he will not even greet you. Like that. He just come into your game, just like that. And I look at it. But because I want to be consistent with my brand, I want people to know me for who I am. I want to be true to what I say. I want to come to social media and start talking about be gentle, be transparent, be kind, be tolerant, and somebody comes to my ear and tells me I'm insulting the person. I can't be like that. So what I do is that if I feel that the Bible talks about what? Principle of first response. The first response will determine whether this story, there should be a fight or not. So he sent me the text, and I saw it be rude. What I did was that I didn't reply. Because if I try to type in something, probably what I would say will be much more heavier than what the person was sent to me. So I will just ignore it. So you see other people who also know the Ike Tandoh brand, they will tell you that for Ike Tandoh, he chooses and he picks and chooses as to who he wants to reply to or not. When I was teaching at a certain university, well, that's what my students tell me. I ask his own people, but there are certain things that when he tests me, and I feel that when I respond, and the response will not align with what I stand for as a person, or the kind of brand I want to position in the people's mind, I'll stay away from it. Because I want to be very consistent. Sometimes it is not easy. We get off the bed, but make sure that most of it are not, you want to be true to your brand word purpose. Consistency is key. I told you my story began with my book, Dear Mama, Why So Soon? After losing my mother, going to stay with my uncle, and I was very lazy boy. I can't pound, even now, I like food a lot, but I can't pound it. So when you touch my pounds, I can't pound it, I can't. But I want to eat it. And you can stay with your mother with that kind of character. But I can't go and stay with somebody and with that. So I wasn't the lover boy in the house. I was thrown off. I was learn by 16, I was on the streets of our old teacher, so making my own life. But God found me and said, go and tell your story. So all the come, and what is beautiful though, the thing that you do in your life right now, let us pretty small. The thing that you do all your life now, he wants to give you a story so that you can tell and it will project what? Your brand. I told you I'm from Maniki. I've said this story over and so it is very, very important that you are being consistent. And when I started telling my story, and I wanted to, so at age, I would say 17, I was really Chibu, Daniel Steele, John Graham, and I could say in Fuafofi and all the others. I would love to be a novelist. But I asked myself, what kind of novelist do I want to be? You can't be anything in the eyes of everybody. You must be something in the eyes of what? Everybody or somebody. So I told myself that I want to be a novelist who wants to share motivations. So the also dancing kind of story. That's how I wanted to position myself. And even if I had tried to do romantic novels, romance is too far away from me. It's not even coming. Not that I even wanted to, but it was too far away from me. So if I write it, but I don't even enjoy, I don't feel it. So I never did. So I did Dear Mama, Why So Soon? By the grace of God, that was my breakthrough story. I sold 20,000 pieces of that book. But by the time I was 19, 20, it was set in Nigeria. Everybody wanted to be Dear Mama. Because it was a true story of a young boy, a young orphan who was crying instead of the mother, crying about everything going to fighting God for making him an orphan, fighting everybody for the guy, and then looking up to God and saying, please let me be the miracle. Not let somebody be the miracle. You people, sometimes the blessings are not coming because if you are praying wrong prayers. Be selfish in your prayer. And then God, I want to be the miracle. Then I sold 20,000 pieces. That's why I came to G&J. When I was coming to G&J, I didn't need a new mother or big brother or father to tell me that this is your school fees or no. I was paying my school fees, I was a big boy. I was wearing good shirts like AOD. Although I wasn't a serious student coming to lecture every Saturday, but I was good. But I was selling books at Kankamanto. I was going to attract girls selling, so I didn't have time to come to lecture. When I put my poster forward as the SRC president, I won. Everybody voted for me because I dressed well. I was a nice boy. Hallelujah. Be consistent. People came in, but my textbook, my second book was I Told You So. My textbook of February didn't sell. People were buying February. Then I had people come to me. Sex sells. Why don't you switch over and write people? At that time, this guy's book, Kofi had written Sex in the Bedroom. Akusete Fofe had written what? Romantic Love. There were a lot of mills and books that also come into the system with a lot of, and you know, as teenagers, everybody wanted to learn about relationship, that was what everybody wanted to read. So the temptation was that, why don't you stop this, your spirit-filled kind of writing, and then sentimental, I call them sentimental words. Why don't you stop your moral fiction words and then come into romantic fiction? That's what everybody is buying. But I went back into my room and I said, what is the promise that I have made to my readers, to my audience? I said that I want to be a hero for Christ, true storytelling. So I'm telling the love of Christ, true stories, and my life. So I did not switch. If I had done that, then who are you? So the readers will go to the bishop and ask, who is this author? What does he stand for? What is he trying to communicate? What is his brand purpose? What are the brand values? So I stayed very faithful to my brand. Although everybody is still like it with friends, dying hero, a call to heaven. A call to heaven sold over 28,000 pieces. Everyone wanted to read a call to heaven. Be very consistent. The road may not be rosy, but be very consistent. If you are a patient person, be patient. If you like laughing, be laughing. Be somebody who are always laughing. Last time I did my own brand measurement, and I sent the link to some of you to measure who Ike Tandoh is. And then there was somebody who I shared this story with one of you here, that somebody said, I am over friendly. Somebody also said, what? I like telling stories about myself too much. Yes, these were two things. Because, yes. Somebody wrote those two things. So I called somebody and I was saying, okay, listen, when I come, I get the opportunity to come to speak to you again. I will make sure that I will just come with a straight face and I will just be in my lane. I finish my thing, I'm going to my guy and I'm gone. And when I was telling this thing to the person was laughing. Said, I cannot see there. And no one. And here am I with my Galamsey stories again. Be consistent. Whether you like it or not, this is who I am. This is what my brand represents for the past 20 years I've been in this system. Be true to yourself and be consistent. Yes, next slide. Build your foundation. Build your foundation. What kind of foundation are you laying? So who are you? Who are you? What is your foundation? What is your foundation? You want to go into fashion, PR, you want to go into marketing communications, you want to go into change management, you want to go into what? Journalistic communications. What kind of foundation? The first step to crafting your personal brand is to lay a foundation you can confidently and authentically build upon. So as you are sitting here, you are building your foundations. Because some of you do not have backgrounds in public relations and in communications. But you have come here because you want to build a foundation as a PR expert or a guru. So you are learning, you are studying, you are reading, you are building a good foundation that you can build upon. So build a foundation. You cannot get there by osmosis. You must start from somewhere. Continuous, persistent, learn, and build. So lay a solid foundation. And build the foundation on what? A purpose. Ask yourself, what brand do I want to build? When somebody mentions my name, what kind of imagery, what kind of associations, what kind of feelings and emotions do I want those people to have about my name or about me, about my brand? That's where you have to start building that foundation from. So you look at your temperament and you feel that you are too harsh, or you are impatient, or there are some people who can when you say something, I also give it back to you. There are people like that. So ask yourself, is that the purpose of your brand? Is that the brand that you want to build? Sometimes I do get angry. People tell me that, but when I go to get angry, not that I don't get angry, I also get angry. But it's because of what my brand word, purpose, and the drivers, and the kind of feeling. So when I get angry, I don't even show it. I go and drink water. But I have my own intelligent way of casting people away from my network if I think that you are not adding to where I want to go to. I hear me. Good. Build strong foundations.
No.
Yes.
A little confusion on that one.
Do that.
So, we have a lot of speakers, for example, in Ghana's media today, who speak on topics that
They don't have any interest, they don't have any knowledge.
foundation. For
Foundation,
example,
okay.
on the subject of marriage,
Okay.
or even sex,
Yes.
you find a lot of unmarried people who are anchors of marriage programs.
Yes.
They've never been married before.
Yes.
But they believe they have acquired enough
Knowledge and experience
from
to
the
share.
beginning. And what I find surprising is that
Yes.
serious people will not consume your content.
Yes.
Because for them to even decide that we would attend your speaking engagement,
Yes.
they will normally will check you out.
100%.
That's part of your credibility.
100%.
What authority
Do you have
in that area before you come into it? So I think that it's important not to get distracted once you get into speaking engagement, to accept
anything.
Speaking.
Let's put our hands together for great time. When you are hungry, you want to do anything. But when you want to start building a brand that should last, you would want to be very careful with the kind of speaking engagement you accept or not. And I say this thing again, don't pretend to be a master of all because you don't know it all. If it's not your area, be humble, be kind, be true to yourself that this is not my area, so let this temptation pass me by. Don't go and embarrass yourself because you don't have the second opportunity to what? To rewrite your story. They have taken it and they are running it. Hey, we went to this conference. The speaker, he was so poor. Wow, bum, pam, 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 pam. Not that you were not good, but that wasn't what? Your area, so you could not prepare well. But you have used that to what? To destroy your brand. So build foundations. For me, when you call me to come and talk about science, physics, I will not come because I don't know it. And I said, go and look for a scholar or somebody in physics. Recently, I started practicing change management, and yes, this my heart. Not to mess with feathers, but my change manager boss brought it to me from US when he met recently, and she was telling me something. And when I meet her, I become like a small boy. I'm very humble. I'm listening to her because that is not my area. I am learning. I want to build a foundation. So I keep quiet. I ask questions. I'm jotting points down. I am taking notes. I am learning. Right? When it comes to my space, and I meet you, Pia comes. Now I also come to my confidence also come because that is my space. But if it is not your space, don't go and pretend that you know. And that's one of the things that I have about public relations practitioners in Ghana and radio personalities, and people. They want to speak about everything, their authority about everything. And I ask myself, you people do drink air. I find it very difficult. So please, if you want to build a brand that I know more about marketing, I know more about communications, I know more about branding, full stop. I am now building my strength in change management. I am still learning. So I wouldn't go around touting myself as a change management expert, no. Because I want to be very credible, I want to be very authentic, I want to be very thorough with the things I say or speak. So to your question, please, if it is not your area and you have been invited, be humble enough and be true to yourself that please, can you look for a different speaker who can do justice to it? Yes.
So, following on that, can you be a multifaceted, can you have a multifaceted foundation or a multi-layered foundation where you are experts in one field and also in another, or you want us to focus on one and then champion ourselves in that?
It depends on your energy. It depends on your capacity. It depends on your level of skill sets that you require. So I love issues of public relations, but I double also in marketing. I love issues of marketing communications. I like it so much. So okay, so let me say Dr. Bosman, strong PR scholar. He is PR and nothing else. Talk to him about anything, he's not interested. He's focused on PR. Myself, Noel. We also say that, okay, fine, PR is good. We want to know PR, but we also want to know marketing. So you see, I'm taking jobs or speaking engagements in PR, in marketing, and I love issues of branding. So I read more. I've set an alert system. Somebody called, how do I set an alert and get? So I've set an alert system on my phone about branding. So globally, anywhere that anybody is writing or speaking or developing any concept or branding, I get notification. Okay. Maybe Professor something says something about branding. Somebody went and I read it. So every day I'm reading something about PR, reading something about becomes written something about branding. So it depends on how dedicated you want to be with the area that you think you want people to know you to be an authority. It depends on you, and then how you want to pay the price for the choices that you have made. Because you want to fulfill the promises, you want to be authentic in the areas, and you want to be true to the people that you have promised to deliver that particular services to. Yes. Yes, sir.
A little follow-up again.
Yes.
So, for example, take any of the best speakers in Ghana.
Yes.
Take Archbishop Duncan Williams.
Yes.
Immediately, what comes to your mind about him?
Yeah.
He's a prayer person.
100%.
He has branded himself.
Prayer, focus.
Talk about Medicine Waterloo.
Right.
He's a word pastor. Talk about James Mobile, motivational speaker.
Yeah.
That's the brand. Martin Luther King, his speech defines him.
Definitely.
So, as a matter of fact, you either have to anchor yourself to an area of competence that you can distinguish yourself and stand out like a red color in the midst of all other colors, or do one particular speech that sells you out to the whole wide world. But becoming like every
Too many. Becoming too many. Everything to
give you
everybody.
the leverage that
That you
want.
want. I agree with you, sir. I agree with you. Yes. Any other contributions, questions? Yes.
So, with regards to building your foundation,
Yes.
one of the things you have to also do is have mastery over the topic.
100%.
And having mastery is about learning. So, I'm just sharing a little example.
Yes, sure.
So, on Thursday, those of us who have been following the taxation, the removal of the tax for sanitary,
Two parts. Yeah.
someone advocates in that field. I think in the morning, AGI sent a press release. Someone shared it with me. I was sleeping. I didn't really read. So around 4:30, someone called me from MX24 that there's an evening news at 6:30. We want you to speak on AGI's press release, and then the Speaker of Parliament will comment on the taxation and all. I've not really paid attention to the AGI. Not that I don't know the whole idea or what's going on. I know. So I have to go back and read the tax, what AGI has said, read the speaker's comments, and do extensive reading. Not that I don't know what's going on, but I have to do extensive reading. Prepare for like 2 hours before I went on air. And I shared it on my social media, like, you did what you did so well. It was because I was prepared, and not because I already know what's going on. So building mastery over the subject is also important.
Extremely important. Build the foundation. Learn. And the best way of building a foundation is to make continuous learning, continuous improvement. Build a foundation. I know that is the reason why all of you are here, to build strong foundations in communications, in PR, and in public speaking, etc. So build strong foundation. Next thing I want to talk about is that focus and build skills and credentials. So I heard, when I listened to Professor Hinson, I heard him talk about, I've written 33 books or articles, and when you go to his LinkedIn page, it is there. These are his branding word, signature. So let me ask you, what is your brand signature? You talk about Professor Hinson, and it's about serious top 100 scholars in marketing and branding in Africa. He's there because he's written what? 33 articles. What skills and credentials are you building on the area that you want to specialize, on the area that you want people to know you for? What are the skill set? How much time and dedication and devotion are you giving to that area to build on, to even speak to them? Today, if I should ask you, mention 5 public relations experts here in Ghana that you admire, that you are following. I think people are going to struggle. But I said mention 5 brands experts that you think you love and you want to follow them, you want to be like them. I know people are going to struggle. Should I try?
Yeah.
Should I try? I didn't try. I didn't try. Okay. PR 5. What are the 5 most PR people that you are reading about? Since this is the area that you are planning to chart. What 5 PR people are you looking at and reading about? And when was the last time you read anything from any of them? No. Who can? Who can? Who can? Susie. Susie or Christina? Ernestina, UNDP. We want to say the not get it. UNDP English, so there's UNDP. 5 PR people that we will be following.
I've been following President Akova, I've been following Sheraton Kum, I've been following Esther Akova, I've been following Susan Helga Owusu and Apache Sepi Alpesi.
Okay. Everyone again, 4. That last one.
Brown.
So all the people that are following are women.
Yes.
Why?
Brown, yeah.
I know about yes, I know very well.
And then also, yeah, Joyce,
Joyce, the lady who spoke to the last time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are a feminist.
No, there's a guy at UB.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, so I just went there.
Okay. All right. Who are you try? Marketing. Abalungu. UPSA Abalungu is fine. Okay. Right. So the point I want to make here is that build your skills set. So with all these people that we've mentioned, Abalungu, Joyce, me, and all, go to their web pages, follow them online, follow them on Facebook, follow them on YouTube, look at what they are doing. Sometimes book interviews, appointment with them. Go and listen to them. What is making them successful? Learn from them. You are contributing toward building your skills and what your and for your credentials. I saw you guys celebrating one person who done the APR. Or the both is like. Oh, this was it. Okay. I said, my good friend. You done the APR. When did you qualify? Last year. Perfect. So when I write your name now, your name is what? Or say I'm a APR. Yes, that alone will give you the competitive edge. That alone, when you are waiting for that contract, when you are looking for that employment, his credentials as an APR, because an accredited person, you are not. So it gives you the competitive edge over you. So look at your network, look at the people that you mentioned, me and Joyce and Ivaluku and all that. What do they have that you don't have? What skill set do they possess that you don't possess? And for me, if I can tell you my own story, I love George Gresham and I love Mohammed Sule, one desirable element going up. And I can't remember I have taken them to the altars. Yes, I've taken them to the altar. I've painted the profile of George Gresham. He's a lawyer. He was a lawyer by profession, then he stopped practicing law to become a novelist. And Mohammed Sule, who is also an academic, he even motivated me to do a PhD. Because I thought that novelists were normal people just want to tell story, but he was a serious academic. And Chemo actually did a PhD, so you got PhD, that's okay. Then if I also want to go far, I should look at enhancing what? My credentials and my skill set. And I'm taking them to the altar. I go to my small room and their profiles are there, their pictures are there. I say, God, I want to be like them. Whatever they have, transfer it to me. That time I had a very stubborn faith. These days, I'm becoming every day, may God forgive me. But I come to one who said, fit to me, and they said, oh, maybe I don't fit to go for one. But after I was very hungry, so I take them to the altar and I'm praying on them. Build what? Mentors. Look at their credentials. When I went to the banking, but I joined banking from active practicing journalism and then PR, and then moved into the banking space. All those still I went there as a PR person. And I asked my boss was there. Then I'm going to the HR. Please can you print the profile of my boss for me? He said, hey, I'm going. I don't know where they do now. I said, oh no, I don't want to take you to do any training, but I want to go, yes. And because at the time, I joined Blue Banking. My first bank I worked for was a Blue Bank, and was the biggest Blue Bank in Ghana. And he was the only person with a degree in the bank, a university degree. All of them were HNDs, RSAs, and diplomas. And I've also graduated from this university with a professional diploma in communication studies. But when I read, they said, we have a degree. And I said, So my mind was like, is it because he has the degree that's making the big guy in this man? Then I also get a degree. Because I also wanted to increase what? My skills and my credentials. So that's why I went back to KNUST. And I think I wasn't satisfied. Then I went back to my second mentor in the novelist writing space. They all have PhDs and what. Okay, then I also pursued, and I did my master's, I did my PhD. So now when I'm also writing my write Ike Tandoh, comma, and I add them. I've also done APR. I'm also done APR. I did APR in 2017, 2018. Build your skills. Why do you need to build your skills and credentials as a public speaker? Why? Why do you think it's necessary? Why do you need to enhance your skill set and your credentials as a comms person, as a public speaker, and then also I talking about as one of the things that you should consider in building your personal brand? Why do you think it's essential? Yes?
Because that's what sets you apart from the others.
That's what sets you apart from the others. Good.
Yes, adds up to your value.
It adds up to your value. And I came here to tell you this, that in speech communication, there are three components. The introduction for every speech. There's the introduction, there is the body, and there is the conclusion. But the most important elements are the introduction and the conclusion. For the body, I don't want, as I'm speaking, because I'm writing, I can see people who are sleeping off, and they will. So in the very part, it's not here. I went to pray for my brother because he was sick. So I'm digressing a bit into public speaking. Take also in public speaking. To become an effective public speaker, you must pay attention to your introductions and your conclusions. And one of the things that can let people listen to you when you are preparing your introduction is about what? Your credentials. So when somebody walks in here and he says that, oh, I just finished medical school. Even at medical school, I was struggling. I failed 3 papers. But because the teachers like me, they just passed me on. And now I have come to make sure that I inject all of you so that you don't fall sick. How many of you go to him? That's right. You run away because of what? The credentials. And even these days, those of us who are always standing and talking, we are at risk. Because once they put your flyer there, before you walk to that podium or that auditorium to speak, the audience, they are full all the time focused on your name. Everybody is full in doing Ike Tandoh. There are some of you, we punch your name to go, we can't stand your name anywhere. So, build strong word, foundations, build skills and credentials. So when you punch your name, they will say, you did this speech, that's where you are going to get so much more currencies, so much engagements to this. Yes.
Once there was this huge man of God in Ghana.
Yes.
Who had a driver. Now this guy drove this man of God for many years, and then the man of God eventually passed. As soon as he passed, the driver took up the ministry of this huge man of God. And people, he didn't lose the congregation, and rather began to grow. And people began to even go to him for training and mentorship, simply because over the years, he had actually picked the skills of this man of God. And his credential was the fact that he has stayed much longer with this man of God more than everyone else. And so the skills and the credentials are not limited to just certifications and licenses.
100%.
But at times you could be home, you are unemployed,
100%.
or even if you are employed, you have free time. What you can do is also to look for people on the path where you are going, and even do some free time with them, and they will impact in your life as well.
But unfortunately, the youth of Ghana now, of today, they don't like apprenticeship. Nobody. But that is where I will give off to Osafo. Let's go for you. They don't like apprenticeship. I was running an online class. I had a number of people. One COVID came, and for me, I don't like to waste. I don't like doing one thing. So when the COVID came, we were home. I said, okay, so what don't I do now? Galaxies are not coming. So why don't I transition from face-to-face training to online? So I put a flyer, strategic brands management training. 1 week, and I had people from EcoBank, people sign on for the training. And one young lady came to my ear and said, I saw your flyer, but I don't have money. How do I attend? I said, oh, good. You know, I want you to do something for me. I want you to collate, I'm sending you the link of registration, to collate all those who are registering, and then check if they are paying or not. And people said they wanted to do installment pay. I said, okay, fine, you can pay. So send them reminders, text message reminders that, so we are 3,000, we are owing 500, that kind of thing for me. And then she said, okay, Doc, thank you very much. And then she started. The second day, I called him. The day of the presentation was supposed to happen, the workshop was supposed to happen. And I called him, how many people, so that I will know how, the number of people I have to allow them in or not. Then she sent the list to me and I looked at them. So after the first edition, I went to ask her, please evaluate my presentation. Was it good? What was your personal experience? And she goes, oh yeah, you're so joking. People like it. It wasn't boring. Then he finished, then he sent me. He called the person, Dr. Tandoh, I saw a dress. I'm at East Legon. I've seen a green dress. I like it. Can you send me money to buy? 1,500. Yes, just like that. No, just like that's why it is done. I've seen a green dress at East Legon. He said, I'm even standing in the shop. It's 1,500. Can you tell me what to buy?
She has seen the money.
Because he has collected well for me for 1 day, so I should pay him. People don't like apprenticeship now. Even the things that they are doing, they are looking at the monetary consideration, the monetary value. That is why we are not learning. But this gentleman has been with me for, he's getting to 4 years. Now, since 2020, he was my student. He's been very faithful, he's been learning. Now, when I give him the microphone to handle some of my speaking, he does better than I do. And that's what makes me happy. So let's do it. Skills development is not only by going to the classroom to learn. Pick mentors, understand them, ask questions, take notes, learn from them. And I said that in speech communication, the introduction and the conclusions are very important. And what makes people listen to you is about telling them about your skills and your qualifications. The way of getting the attention of your audience to make your introduction not flat is telling them that, not to go and tell them, I have PhD, I have APR, but even recounting the kind of engagement that you have done. Oh, yesterday I spoke at Liberia, and it was a good conference. Last year I was in Kenya. Last 3 years I was in Burkina Faso. I talked in the US. Once your listeners are here, they say, okay, we are in safe hands, right? We are in somebody who is an authority over the area and is a proving word presenter, it's a proving word speaker. And that will communicate to them the reason why God they should listen to you, because you have some sort of value that you want to give it to them. So building your skill sets and your credentials is very good as a public speaker, because you need it to establish your authority during your delivery or during your presentation. That's for the introduction for you. I'll come back to the conclusion today. So another point I want to share with you is that build your personal brand around things that you are passionate about and you have interest in. Build your brand around things that you are passionate about. I like communications, I like branding, I like marketing, I like to write about sentimentals, emotions. That's what I'm passionate about. So that's why when they ask me to go and write about sex, and they tell me that sex sells, I did not, because I'm not passionate about that. Build your brand around your brand story, around things that you are passionate and you have interest about. You can start your blog. I was talking to Dr. Bosman this morning about that why don't you start a blog about, you are a good researcher, so why don't you start about a blog about teaching people how to conduct research. Build your brand around things that you are passionate about and then you also have the interest. That is why you do it effortlessly, because you are passionate about it. When you are even sitting down 4 hours, 5 hours to read, you don't get tired because you want to love it. Good. Your core values and your belief system. In building your persona, your personal brand, align them with your core values and your belief system. What are your core values? What do you stand for? What do you believe in? Your core values. What are your core values? Right? Are you somebody who is not truthful? Are you somebody who is not honest? So if your brand value, your core value is honesty, make sure that in telling your stories, in doing your work, in handling your clients, in handling everybody that you encounter, they will see traces of what? Honesty in everything that you do. But that's your core value. If it's about integrity, make sure that everybody who encountered you, who experienced you, will be with that person. Yes, this man has integrity. If it is about love, everybody who experienced you should know that he's somebody who has a lot of love inside and he wants to share the love of Christ with me. So build your brand around what? Your core values and what? Your belief system. And then make sure that your values and your belief system are things that are acceptable by society. I don't want to go there. Kill. Don't tell me that is your belief system. So that's where you are building your advocacy around. When the debate came out and then people were talking a lot about it on social media, I had people who came into my DM, Brother Tam, if I heard your voice, what is your start on that? And I said, I choose to be silent.
Why?
Because for me, my brand doesn't like controversies. There are people who have built good brands around controversies. They just want to say things like that. And then they get the mind, Shatawani. Yes, it works for him, but for me, it doesn't work for me. So things I don't have a lot of knowledge about and I'm not interested in, I don't talk about them. And I just want to give you the advice to that some of you. Everything they see on Facebook or on social media, they want to comment. Why? Ask yourself whether it aligns your brand or not, and they want to comment. So your people don't know who you are. I come into people's comments section to comment because there are things that I am interested in and passionate, and they also align with what my core values and what my belief systems. Because I want to be consistent with the story that I am telling about myself. Hello? Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'll run up very soon. Your brand vision. Write it down. That's one thing. But next time I meet and we are talking about this, that's what I'm going to ask about. I want all of you to write it. So, what is your brand vision? In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. I think the very first day I saw some of you, I asked you that, why do you want to study Masters in Public Relations and then Marketing? Why? What is your vision? And I was hearing people say, oh, yeah, I just want to get a degree and go. Some people also say, oh, I've been missing such opportunities, and I think that getting the credential that you talk about will enhance where I want to project my brand. So identify what your vision, your brand vision. And I told you that I identified mine when I was 14, 10, 15, when my mother died. And I'll go back to my Christian values again. If you don't know, the Bible says that He is the provider of what? Wisdom and knowledge. Go to Him and ask Him. And I ask this question. I am not here to just, please, if you are not a Christian or you don't believe in the Bible, don't be offended. But unfortunately, that's who I am. So that's the only thing I can talk about. And 16 years, that was a very difficult period in my life, from age 14 to age 19. Very critical, difficult period of my life, because everything was lost. Then I went to the old man, and I went to ask the old man about my vision, because I didn't know it. And so I asked, dear Lord, you are a very wicked man. You allowed Mama to die. With Mama, things were good, we are having everything. Now that it's off, what do you want me to do? What vision, what path should I chart? Because I am lost. The thing I heard was, go and write. What should I go and write? Go and write what you are going through. That defined Ike Tandoh. That brought me into where I'm standing here today. Because I went to ask him. So I came to challenge you that if you also talk, if you are still lost, there are people here who still don't know their vision. What they want to be living tomorrow, next year, next 5 years, next 10 years. They don't know how to, where they want to drive their car. The last time I spoke in a certain university, I asked one lady, why are you doing this lecture? Or they tell me, oh, my parents said I should come. Say they are paying now, so I have come. If Papa didn't share, I'm here. No vision. So the course that he's doing, he doesn't even know. So if I should ask you, after studying this program, in 4 or 5 weeks now you are done, what are you going to do with the degree? What is your vision for studying this program? Sam, what is your vision for studying this program? And how does it align with your brand purpose?
So I stand for transformational leadership.
Okay.
So I am passionate about performance and strategy.
Okay.
And communication is very critical
Okay.
if you would be able to bring about a change. So I took this course to build my communication skills, to put me on that level where I can engage world-class people.
100%. My friend, Amamba, so how does this course you are studying aligns with your brand vision? Or what is your brand vision in the first place? What is your brand vision? For yourself, not for your organization, your personal brand. What is your personal brand vision?
So, when I pick up a new job,
Why, you have COVID?
No, I have to.
Oh, okay.
So when I picked up a new job, I asked myself, now I am moving from my core journalism to straight PR. And all my life I've been doing journalism, but there's a huge difference between journalism and PR. And the fact that you're a good journalist doesn't mean that you become a good PR person. So what do I want to achieve? Because this is a new path. And I told myself that okay, for the next 5 years, just like I was in journalism, I want to be known as one of the go-to people when it comes to public sector PR. So where do I start? So that's why I want to like PR. So he pushed me to like PR. And from IPR, I said, let me get an MBA in PR and marketing because we are moving into a space where PR is more kind of like a marketing organization.
Yeah.
So we have to test that kind of knowledge. So I decided to come here to equip myself so that I can brand myself very well.
Right.
The
doesn't hit them just is good. Yes, so the brand vision is that you want to be known as an expert in public sector here. And one sentence. So that is his brand vision. That's why he's here. Yes, let me listen to the lady in Rasta hair, green Rasta hair. What's your name, please? Sorry, if I don't know your name, forgive me. I'm very poor in memorizing names. Please. What's your name? In green and Rasta. Millicent, what is your brand vision? Your personal brand vision? Or you've not thought of it yet? Wow. And it's not straight to me. There are many people I encounter and I ask them, what is their personal brand vision? They don't know. Yet they never know. But yeah, I'm about to be a Jacqueline, what is your personal brand vision? Jacqueline is after K.O.D. What is your personal brand vision? What?
She wants to be a prophet.
What has prophecy got to do with PR? Credibility. Oh, my very good friend, my university friend, Senam. Glenam, sorry. I've long time since I heard your voice. Speak to me. What is your brand vision?
I want to establish a space and advocacy, especially for child rights and issues in relation to children and their well-being. So this is a stepping stone to that.
Wow, have you heard of Compassion International?
From you, I have.
Then you should be learning more from them and joining them because I think their vision aligns with your vision about your children and child advocacy. So for example, you could volunteer for them. You could volunteer for them, you could attach with them, and before you it's a very good organization. And if you have that vision, you can align with them before you realize you are somebody big with that organization. So that is good. So she knows her vision. That's why yeah. So okay, my next question, my follow-up question to you, Glenam, is so how does this program that we are studying aligns with that vision?
So coming from an art
Or why did you decide to be here but not any other place to study any other program?
coming from an arts background,
Yeah.
just a step into that vision. I needed a step into that world.
Okay.
You might not go to school for it, might not be educated by people who are already doing the thing and attached to it. So they'll give you an insight, not just book knowledge of it, but the actual
Definitely. Definitely. Do you know my personal feelings about your brand? I see it to be a very, that's why I said you yourself said you want to be an advocate. For the very first 2 days I spoke with you, I could see that Yvonne Nelson active. I see that aspect in there. That strong thing. When she reaches there, you can feel almost have a small size, but when she's speaking, it's so forceful. She's making impression on you, and that is good. So you are right by saying that you want to be an advocate, because you are an advocate. That's how I feel about your man. Yeah. That is good. So what do you want to be known for? In writing down your brand vision. These are the questions you have to ask yourself and answer them. What do you want to be known for? What will that be if you become known as the world's go-to experts on maybe X, Y, Z topic? KOD is covered a need for fashion and then broadcasting. So when I do the flyer down, somebody puts a message, a text to my mail, they said that, why do you define KOD as a broadcaster? You are limiting him. And some people also say that he's very off broadcasting to more of fashion. So who is he? Is he still in broadcasting or is 1957 KOD? You are a politician now. Right. So what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? Please define that. That will direct you into even the level of associations, networks, certifications that you have to get in order to enhance your personal brand. Your mission, your brand vision. Define your brand vision. Why are you here? There are so many people doing child advocacy. So many people, Compassion, Bright Affair, Child Rights International. So why? What is your mission? What are you here to do? So that is where you have to employ two things. You have to remember and employ these 2 skill sets. You want to build a brand and you want to stand out. If you are aiming at accomplishing that, there are 2 things I would advise you on. One, work to be different. Because there are already people in your space. So how do I differentiation from the market? But before you can differentiate yourself from others, you must research and then find out your point of parity. Where do you also align with them? So establish the point of parity. And after establishing your point of parity, ask where can I do it so that I can also stand out, I can also chart a unique path. Are you following? So establish the point of parity and then establish where you can also add your own persona, your own personality, your own voice to the area, to the child advocacy area that you want to go to. Or you can also decide to be first in an area. Maybe after researching, reading about all child advocacy organizations or all child advocacy personalities, what is missing that you want to bring on board new? That is the blue ocean and the red ocean strategy I talked to you about. So there is something that is missing, and you want to create that path and create leadership in that area. So either you are different or you are the first. Hello. It goes to everybody, not only now. Good. So what is your mission? What do you want to build? Why do you want to build a personal brand? What is your purpose? What do you want to influence? What do you want to accomplish? These are the questions you have to ask in defining your brand mission. Your brand message. Your brand message. What is your tagline? What do you want to say? Your brand must reach your audience. And your brand can reach your audience if you decide to communicate it. Your brand story, your brand mission, and your mission. So what kind of messaging are you putting together to inform your audience about you? So when you see my When you go on all my social media handles, you see sharing is spiritual. Anything I write, you see that sentence in any post that I put there for the past 3-4 years. You see, either you see a little bit is a dangerous thing or sharing is spiritual. Because I believe that I exist to share. I exist to share knowledge. That's why you see me here, you see me there, you see me there, you see me there. Any little thing that I learn, I want to share. And when that is how I want to position my personal brand. And that is why people would always invite me for speech engagements. Because I am readily available, and that's the message I've been communicating. Sharing is spiritual. I want to share. When you invite me and it's my area, I have passion and interest in the area, I'll come and share. And once you do that repeatedly, constantly over a period of time, you create what? A brand for that space. And that is where you also get value. Once you give value, then the reward system will also come. Right? So, what is the key message you want to communicate? What message do you want to consistently reinforce in your context and in your marketing? What would it be if you could give one piece of advice to your audience? What would that be? So what is your message? After your presentations, after your speaking, what is the one thing that you always want to leave? The conclusion. So I said, let me say, go back to, so I'm putting two topics together now. Public speaking and then branding. So I'm saying that in your speech communication, the introduction and the conclusion are the important thing. The introduction will have to do with your credibility, owning your credibility, and then telling them your credentials, telling them why they must listen to you. And with your conclusion, you can end with a positive vision of the message or a negative vision of the message. So choose who you are. There are some people that when they are ending their speech communication about topic, they want to tell the audience about the negative vision. Okay, if you don't do A, B, and D, C and D will happen to you. It's also a way of reinforcing that message. And there are some of us, because for me, my brand story is that I am a motivator. I want to encourage. So I almost always end my speeches with what the positive vision of my communication or of my messaging. So I will tell you that, oh, please come to class. Pay attention to your personal branding. Because if you pay attention to your personal branding, you are going to build an equity, and your equity is going to stand in for you. Anytime, when you are looking for people to employ, when you are looking for people to go and do that kind of same work, when you are looking for people to go and do that consultancy. So I will end with what? Motivating you to do what I came to tell you to do. Others will also end with what? Warning you that the consequence of not doing what he's telling you. So look at your brand and look at where you are aligned with. Either you want to end your messages with a positive feature of whatever you wanted topic you wanted to address, or you also want to caution them with the consequence, the negative vision of the topic that you want to tell them. So look at where your brand aligns. Your brand personality, KOD, 1957, is broadcaster. Yesterday I was so happy because somebody sent me this presentation from Paris. I said, wow, that is my girl. She's in Paris, standing there, doing this. Italian, young girl, she was here, she was not sitting in the same class as she was here. Today, not only is she doing VGMA, so she's speaking in Paris. Global citizen. That's where her brand is getting into now. But she was once a student like you, but she had a purpose, she had a mission. She had a message, she has been consistent. And she's also one of the few brands in Ghana, if I should say celebrities, that her brand, you can hardly find controversies around Belamude's brand. Hardly. Okay, I was going to say something, but because I am online, I won't say it. There are certain secrets you have to keep in your pocket. Okay, you didn't talk to your lesson about this. Yes. So, what are some of your characteristics and traits that you can wave into your personal brand? Building your personal brand. Also ask, look at your personality. What are some of your personal, you guys call it temperament and whatever behaviors. What makes you you? What are some of those things that you can inculcate in building your brand. I am a free-spirited talkative. I am a people's person. I am a lover of people. I want to make people happy around me. These are my personality type. I am a wow. You can't be with me in a room and 5 minutes nobody is talking. Then I am sick. So I put those strengths of mine into what? My personal brand. So people want to come to you because when they come to you, you make them happy. People want to bring you to their conference to come and speak because when they come, no matter how complex the topic is, and this son told me, he wrote this thing about me when I was doing my brand health check. And he tells me, Dr. Tandoh has a way of making complex subjects look simple. Because of, I bring my person into what I do. That is me. No matter what you do to me, I just want to make people happy. So bring your personality into building your personal brand. But somebody will ask me, what about if my personality is negative? What about somebody there are some people, and there are one people like, no matter how expensive, beautiful, knowledgeable you are, handsome you are, if you don't know how to talk, I find it difficult to live with such people. And some people, as soon as they open their mouth, there are bombs coming out. You can't end 5 minutes conversation without giving a cheeky answer or a cheeky something. That personalities like that. Very difficult that you can have a normal conversation and you won't end up saying something that's not cash. So somebody asked me that if you are like that, so how do you should I also carry that into my personal branding? Now that you are teaching how to do it, somebody asked me, I get angry easily. So should I carry that, my anger attitude, into building my personal brand? What will be your answer? If you know, how do you do that? Because we are talking about personal brand. This is not corporate branding, it's about you. So how can you differentiate your personality from your personal brand? How are you going to do that?
With the anger issue,
yes.
It's a weakness you've identified, so you have to work on yourself, work on it, and bring out the best.
100%. Do I have weaknesses? A lot. A lot of them. But because I have a brand purpose and I have a brand vision, I try to work on what? My weaknesses and showcase my strength. All the time. So I use my strength to cover what? My weaknesses. Sometimes, if you don't control me, I can use a 2-hour speech communication into 4 hours. That is my weakness. Because I'm a happy boy. When the audience is receptive towards me, I can be the whole day and I don't feel like time is going. But not everybody likes that. People are time conscious, especially when I work with Americans. Time. It's 1 hour. So I have to remind myself that, hey, my audience are not Ghanaians. My audience are Americans, Westerners who are time conscious. So I must behave. I must submit. Then what do? I employ Osafo. Please be my timekeeper. So I'll be there and you come and pass by me. Then it's communicating to Master. Know how to work on your weaknesses. Everybody has weaknesses. Hide your weaknesses and what? Showcase your strength in building your brand personality. Choose your target audience. Your brand cannot be relevant to everybody. Be selective. Choose whom you want to appeal to. Choose whom you want to appeal to. You can appeal to everybody. Choose whom you want to appeal to. Knowing your audience will lead you to designing good messages for that particular audience. So you know that who are you appealing to? In all my writings, I write a lot for teenagers, for young children. So maybe Kelenam and I can form a group partnership because I also have a lot of passion for children. That is why my association with compassion. So you see my posts, majority of my posts are for children. So these are my audience for the youth. Children, youth. So these are my audience. So anything I write, when I write it, the kind of language, the kind of diction, even the kind of designs that you want to do with my books. Because I know my audience. My audience are not KOD. My audience are not Nissan. So I don't worry about those people, but I worry about the target group what I want to reach with God. with my messaging. So in developing your personal brand, choose your target audience and know how you want them to see you and how you want them to also embrace your brand story. Next slide. This is my last slide. Those who are tired, I've spoken too much. So I'm ending. Reinvent your brand as you go. Reinvent your brand as you go. The Bible says, when we were young, we talked like what? Children. But now that we are growing, we should think like what? Adults. So the kind of people I also hate in my life is people that are here. I hate them so very much. With passion. People that are here. Some for more real issues that we now marry. They want to be the children. Some of them down. With the son, the leaders are everyone. God didn't create anybody. God created all of us like Him. So if your character is not aligned with God's character, that's not what God wants you to be. So change. Don't say, for me, I'm like that. Take me or leave me. Change. Reinvent. And this is what Shakawale did. And he helped his brand so very much. He was banana. It wasn't working for him. He went out 10 years, hit himself and steady. Came back and became what? Shakawale that we all love. I'm an SM fan. SM for life. I love it. Reinvent your brand as you grow. So now, personally, I'm reinventing myself. I started as a novelist for children. I've been writing and writing. I did TV, I did radio. Now I realized that I am going, I can no longer be jumping from radio station to radio station or whatever. So I've come back and rebranded myself as a conference speaker. That's actually I have here. And in doing that, it means that we have to develop new skill sets in order to be able to appeal to the new audience, the new target. Now I'm appealing to serious minds like you guys. So I can't still be staying in my room and be sleeping and say that I am writing for children. I'm not writing for children again. I am speaking to adults, intellectuals. So I need to study. I need to develop new skill sets. I need to look at what is the global trend and adapt myself because my brand is also transcending beyond what the borders of Ghana. So I need to understand international PR, international communication, international cultures, how to response. So please, as you grow, and then as your brand also grow, reinvent yourself to make sure that you meet the exigencies of time, you meet the demands and the requirements of time. And that the market will grow, outgrow you. There's some people, and so it's so painful. When you were times, sometimes this is some of the things they will know that better, and they say that and one they don't respect. Not that the young musicians don't respect, but they are pained. That once upon a time they were great musicians. When they put their records out now nobody wants to listen to them. Because why? They failed to reinvent themselves. And I'll put my hand up always for Daddy Lumba because he's always reinventing himself. He doesn't go. I'm watching today, for example, reinventing. When you see that the brand is going that small, you wear some Kwame Yuji or something and then attach. Wachiami Kwame, evergreen, always reinventing. So don't be static with your personal brand strategy or purpose or mission. Reinvent them, change them to meet the growing demands of time. So this is what I'll end my presentation, and I'll say that in building your personal brand, your smile is your logo. Your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. And the way you make others feel about you, around you, becomes what? Your trademark. I will take it again. Your smile becomes your logo because that's what people see. Your smile. Smile. Everybody smile. Let me see. Smile. Let me smile. Your smile is your logo. Your personality is your business card. Your personality is what people get when they encounter you. So your personality becomes your business card, and the way you make others feel about you, around you, when they encounter you, becomes what? Your trademark. So that anytime your name is mentioned, that's the feeling your personal brand is going to evoke. That's the feeling your personal brand is going to tell. So this is what I came to share with you. Thank you.